The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hello and welcome to another edition of our program, CHW in Action, with your host, Rafael Calderon. I'm your CHW, and as well as CHW stands for Community Health Worker. This program is called Community CHW in Action because I'm a community health worker who is always in action to bring you, the community of Nashua, and everyone that watches the show, information and education on how to live an ideal lifestyle, which is a healthy lifestyle. And as you know, I'll start to bring interesting guests into the show. Today I have two wonderful ladies in the real estate business, because to me, having a home is a way to achieve a healthy state of mind. And a healthy state of mind is part of having a healthy or living a healthy lifestyle. So with that, let us introduce our guests, Neily and Paula. How are you, ladies?
Thank you, Rafael, for having us.
Thank you, ladies, for coming.
Yes, so as you stated, part of being healthy, correct, a healthy state of mind is the American dream, having your own home. So what I do day to day is I help first-time home buyers achieve that goal. How do I do that? I promote that first-time home buyers get an education in how to buy a home. Usually that happens with a class at a nonprofit where they can go and learn step by step how to attain the goal. So talk about credit, right? What happens if my credit is bad, if it's good, how can I make it better? And talk about their habits and possibly give them some counseling. That's something that the place where they're getting the schooling would do. Okay. Part of that is also that there they'll meet a person or a loan officer from a bank that will educate them on products. There are various products catered to first-time home buyers.
If I may ask, when you say products, what exactly does that mean?
So because the banking world is so regulated, we can't specifically talk about rates, right? And we'll point that out now. But Paula can talk to you about a little bit about products.
Yeah, products would be like FHA, which is a type of loan. It's for first-time home buyers, or it benefits first-time home buyers because the down payment will only be 3.5% versus conventional, which is 5% down.
Nice.
Depending on the type of property. If it's multi or single family.
Interesting. And I'll take it that you ladies, your focus is on first-time home buyers.
Absolutely.
Why is that?
It's not because they're easy, because they're not.
They're
right?
harder, if anything.
They're actually harder, but I think we take pride and we enjoy helping, our community. We're both Latinas, and we service mainly the Hispanic community and all else, of course. But doing that hand-holding, and like steering them or taking them to a place where they can do the education, right? And then from there, taking them back and saying, okay, so you sat there and you learned about, we talked about a little bit about loans. You learned about your credit, your loan. Now, how to work with a realtor and what to expect from a realtor in the marketplace. You spoke with an attorney and understood that contracts in the U.S. are in English and that they're going to be in English, and so that if you don't understand them, that's a conversation that has to be had with either your realtor, if she's bilingual, or your attorney, if she's bilingual, to explain to you the contract in your native tongue. So very, very important. There they also meet a home inspector. So before they actually pay to hire a home inspector, they ask us, they can ask questions. So what kind of inspections are typically done when you're buying your home? And the home inspector will go through the various inspections that they do and will explain what may come from that.
Okay.
Granted, we're in New Hampshire, so one of the most common inspections, other than general inspection, is your radon, right?
Right.
And you being in the healthcare field, you understand radon.
Definitely.
So radon, for those viewers that don't know what it is, it's basically gas fumes that come from stone, right?
Yep.
And are cancerous. So what are the levels of radon in this particular home? And if they are above what they're supposed to be, then let's get it mitigated. And it's a way that we can renegotiate your contract, right? So this is something that, unless they took this class or their agent that they were working with voiced it or mentioned it, they probably, as a first-time homebuyer, would have no idea.
Interesting.
So this is why it's important that you connect.
I like that. And Paula, what did you do?
I'm a loan officer assistant.
So tell me, okay, I want to buy a house. So I'm going to tell Neily, I need a house. Then you would be the loan person.
Yes, so you would apply for a loan. We'll ask you for your personal information, your employment information, and the property information.
Okay.
And then based on your credit and your employment or your income, then you know how much you're approved for.
Okay, sweet. So you ladies know all this stuff about real estate that I don't know. So educate me. Tell me everything that I need to know so I can tell people in the community more about you. I mean, the whole community is going to watch on TV. But for the people that I talk to day, tell us all that we need to know about real estate.
So if, you're interested in buying a home, ideally, we talked about those preliminary steps about the first-time home buyer classes, but typically they would usually approach a realtor first, and then we send them over to the bank. Okay. And the bank is going, like Paula said, ask them for their personal info, and with that info, they're going to produce a pre-approval, okay, giving them the allotted amount of money that they can buy this home for. So, I mean, Paula can tell you some of the exact documents that they request are
2 years of tax returns, recent pay stubs, your most recent bank statements, and your ID, social security card, and resident alien card.
Okay. So now you ladies work out of Boston, is that correct?
No, so we are based in the Merrimack Valley, in Massachusetts, but we do service New Hampshire. Do you guys have an office in New Hampshire?
Yeah, Salem, New Hampshire.
They're in Salem, New Hampshire, actually.
Okay.
But they're licensed in?
We're licensed in Maine, Florida, Connecticut, I believe New York.
Other than Mass and New
Hampshire, yeah.
Nice. Okay. No, see, I want to learn what you ladies do because I want to learn more about real estate. I know there's a lot of people that want to learn more about real estate. Because when you think about owning a home, everybody wants to own a home. But sometimes the process can seem too big. So the key is how to make it smaller.
Correct. So you get pre-approved, come back to me, we start looking at homes, right?
Okay.
In New Hampshire, the process is a bit different than Mass. So New Hampshire is your contract to purchase is basically your offer and purchase and sales agreement. In Mass, it's a two-step process, but we're focused in New Hampshire because that's where we are today, right?
Yes.
So basically, we look for homes, we write up a contract. If the contract's accepted, it could be negotiated prior to acceptance. So the seller may come back and say, I'm selling my single family at $200,000, yet you offered $190,000. I'm willing to meet you halfway.
Okay.
And that can be, closing costs, and Paula can talk a little bit about what closing costs are, could also be included in that contract so that the buyer, if it has limited amount of down payment, and we can talk about down payment assistance too if you want.
That'd be nice. Talk to me about everything.
Okay, so if the buyer is limited with funding or they have X amount of dollars, and they could, and Paula can elaborate on this. So let's say the buyer doesn't have their full 3.5% or 5% on a conventional, okay? Paula can explain to you what are some of the options they may have.
So some of the options are city funds assistance, which is a program from the city. Like Lawrence, for example, they have a first-time homebuyer program that they'll pay for your closing costs or even a certain amount of your down payment.
Okay.
If you
New
don't.
Hampshire Housing has a program here.
I think I've heard of that one.
Yes.
And in a way, I'm glad to have met you. I thank Mr. Gagnon. I have to call him Mr. Gagnon when I'm on the air. he told me about you because we've had conversations. I'd like to create some type of a network where I can have different options, where I can send people when they ask me questions about real estate. Because I know there are first-time home buyer programs. But what about someone that had a home? I don't know if you ladies, you look very young, the both of you. But back in the day in Lawrence, Massachusetts, there was a home buying crazy. Everybody was buying homes. People that may not have been able to afford the homes
Correct.
were getting homes. And then they started losing those homes.
2007.
Oh, so okay.
Yeah, I've been in just some history. I've been in the business 15 years.
Okay.
So I started in 2002. Paula is
2010. So
2010,
Wow,
but
okay.
still seasoned. Okay, she saw, so she saw the aftermath, but definitely lived through that as well. But what I'm saying is, our business is cyclical, so buyers and sellers need to keep that in mind, right? And so do real estate professionals. But at the end of the day, what was happening back then is that, remember, if you had a heartbeat, you can get a loan.
I do remember.
That's the best way to put it, right? So, as things shifted and the market basically crashed and our economy crashed to some extent, what happened there is that values were no longer there. So you had these homeowners that had just taken out a loan for their max, $350,000, let's say, on a multifamily dwelling.
Right.
And now that same multifamily dwelling had dropped to 200,000.
Okay. So let's say one of those people wanted to buy a home now. Could you to help
Yes,
a
they
person
can.
like that? Okay.
Depends on what happened and how they handled it.
Okay.
Remember, there were many options. We were great. We had the banks had to give options to the homeowners. So there was a short sale option and deed in lieu. Some did go into foreclosure, but even those that went into foreclosure can still buy a home now.
Okay.
And it's a case-by-case scenario.
yeah.
Okay.
So you have to look at, so what happened to you back then? How did you handle it? And where are we today?
Okay. Okay.
But I'll be honest with you, and maybe Paula can reiterate on this. The best client to come back to buy a home is the client that went bankrupt.
Really?
Believe it or
tell me
not.
about
They
that.
know because they know the process.
Okay.
So
They have the experience.
So somebody that's gone bankrupt has already been there. They're going to make it all, much better now. But it's also someone that has zero debt, right?
And it's hard to have zero debt these days. I mean, but I'm asking you these questions because I know someone. I mean, I may have a lead for you ladies. I know someone that used to own a home, Tower Hill,
Okay.
and that person, things happened, lost a home, and now he wants to buy a new home, but I guess he's under that impression that it's too complex of a process.
No.
Needs to have perfect credit. A foreclosure would be damaging. You
Minimum
go
2 years for FHA.
minimum 2 years.
Yeah, so as long as it was, we're in 2016, so as long as it was 2013 or prior, that would be ideal.
So if I have a lead for you ladies, do I get an apple? I mean, an apple. I don't take cookies anymore because now I'm into health. Okay? No, but seriously, I'm gonna tell them about you too.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be willing to help.
Now, one question for the two of you, and I'm
Yes.
sorry if I spoke over you.
No.
It's just popped in my head is that Mr. Gagnon mentioned something about a network that you're putting together that you run.
Yes,
Tell
so
us about that.
I and New Fed as well as Paula are part of my network. So the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals is a trade organization catered towards real estate professionals.
Okay.
And I chair their board. I'm their president for Boston. So basically, what we do is we hold events that are network events and educational for like-minded individuals that service the Hispanic community.
Okay.
But you don't have to be Hispanic or talk Spanish to be part of us, okay? Just point that out. But basically, professionals that service that industry or that want to be part of that industry that want to come together and do business and refer business, back and forth with each other.
And how often do you guys get together?
So we have 4 events a year, and we try to keep them between educational and networking. So One portion is usually learning about something new in the industry or some continuing ed credits. And then after that, it's usually food and entertainment and networking, of course. Some events out of the 4, I think one is just totally networking and fun, right? And then we have an annual event that we end the year with where it's kind of like we thank our sponsors and our members for being part of us. So, you know, to reach us, I'm not sure if I can mention
Yeah, you can.
the website. It's narep.org. It's a nonprofit, and you know, they can click on the Boston chapter, which would be closer to, you know, Nashua, and we would welcome them, of course, and embrace them. Because
Well, why don't you start a chapter in Nashua? Why don't you?
so,
Okay, Nashua is one of the
so,
coolest places around here, just so you know.
So I'm going to be honest with you. So our organization is realtor driven, right? So if I can get a group of realtors in Nashua that want to start a chapter here in New Hampshire, I would help them launch. Absolutely, and we can work as like a sister brother.
Okay. Okay.
So that's so I service New Hampshire as well, but my main market is Mass. But if there is a group of realtors in the state of New Hampshire, Nashua base would be excellent, right? Because we have a huge Hispanic community in Nashua.
Yes.
That I would absolutely help them launch that chapter.
When you say a group, what is the magic number?
So we have to form a board.
Okay.
And ideally, we need 60% realtors on that board, and the rest can be insurance, mortgage, so a lender, could be appraisers, adjusters, anybody, you know, anybody that feels that they have, their heart is with the real estate industry and the Hispanic community.
Okay. I like that. One of my visions is I want to create a Latin American center or Centro Latinoamericano for everybody, but specifically for Hispanic people that want to get into real estate or that are in real estate and want to grow. And I want them to have a place to go to out of Nashua. So this building that I have in mind is going to have an office to do networking, like you just mentioned, but networking for something that's going to be beneficial to Nashua, for starters, and then everywhere else.
Correct.
And the only reason for that is that I've been to a lot of networks where I meet people from other cities. And it's always good to meet new people. It's always good to network. But it has happened that I have referred some of my community members, some other people I've met at networking events, and then there's a disconnect because of their, you know, cities far away from Nashua, so on and so forth. That's the only reason I ask.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm about, 30 minutes from here, 40 minutes? But, like, we service this community, so we're here frequently. So it's not someone that's not familiar with Nashua or doesn't understand Nashua. So that's a very interesting plan that you have. So
it's going to happen, too.
That's great.
And you, too, can be part of it.
Awesome.
I want to get Paula talking. Paula's very quiet. Why is that? Tell us you do something.
Because I'm shy.
You're shy? This is a fun house. This is a moment of fun. What got you into mortgage?
I would say my father had a similar situation where you were saying about your client in Tower Hill. He lost his house due to someone who didn't know how to do a short sale, and then he had to file for bankruptcy. So I was kind of interested in the process and, you know, what to do to solve the problem and get him back to being a homeowner.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you that there's plenty of people, because I love Nashua. I created my ideal lifestyle in Nashua, and then life happened, and then I ended up living in Manchester, but Nashua is where my heart is. So I've always worked in Nashua, but I'm out of Manchester now, and I used to live in Lawrence. So I know people from all over the place, and that's why I'm asking you questions, because I know people in situations that could maybe benefit from your expertise.
Yeah, and so you know, and Paula will tell you, that short sale, there's a lot of people still in limbo, like their bank hasn't really reached out to them, or They don't know if they still own the house or not, but they're in the house, okay? There's still help for them. We can still help them, whether it's transition them out or keep the house.
So if people have questions, they
Absolutely.
can reach out to you.
Absolutely.
And what is the best way to reach out to you?
So Paula has a way, I have another way. I love to be text because you can get me on demand. They can go to my website is neilysoto.com, and it's Neily.
Okay.
My phone number 978-423-9447. That's my cell, my personal number, so they can text me or call me, whatever they feel comfortable doing. And again, I'll ask any question. I'll answer any questions.
Very nice. And how will they reach Paula?
My cell phone, 978-397-8920.
Thank you.
Text or call.
Text or call. Try to get you talking. So how did you two come together? You're two different companies. So did you tell us again? How did
So
you?
Paula and I met through another company before, and I thought, what a sharp girl. And I think I stole her from that company. I hope they're not watching the show. But not per se for me. I stole her for a good friend of mine that is in the industry as well. And she's basically his right hand in that industry, the mortgage industry. So we've known each other quite some time now. Very diligent, very proper, always with the best intent for the client. And that's something that's very important to me as a professional, but to see others, treating their customers that way is very good.
That's good to know, because I usually like to refer people to places where they're going to be taken care of. And speaking of which, before we went live, I was telling you, before Paul arrived, I have a friend who's looking for a commercial property, which is thinking of a place where the first floor can be a business and upstairs an apartment building where she can live.
So mixed use.
Yes.
So let's talk back to the basics of real estate. So residential is 1 family, condo to 4. Anything over 4, which is 5, 6, 7, 8, is commercial. And anything mixed use could still be residential if it's 50-50 or 30-70. That could still be residential. But if she's looking for straight out commercial fronts and multi-units on the top, could mainly be a commercial loan. So commercial financing is a different animal. It's not, for her it's going to be different because you mentioned she wants to live there.
Yes.
So there's a bit more of involvement there and more of emotional involvement.
Right.
But the commercial side of our business is very fact-driven and very number-driven. So it's business. It's operated like, purchased like a business. So what the commercial institution's going to do, usually going to ask her for, it depends if she's going to have a business there or not. There could be an SBA loan that she could get, or it could be 20, 25, 30% down.
25, okay.
And then with that being said, rates obviously are different. We're not going to talk about that now because we can't. But the amount of money required is more, and the terms are very different. So where you see 30-year fixed on a commercial is usually 5-year fixed, 20-year loan.
Interesting. Okay. I will have her.
Absolutely. I can answer any questions.
Yeah, because I know she's looking, she's interested. But she's one of those that she went to people in the realtor industry. She doesn't feel that she got the type of
attention.
Yes, that you needed. That happens a lot in this area. That's why when Mr. Gagner told me about you, I said I need to meet this lady because maybe she can help my people.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So, one of the things that I tell my clients when they come in, and I can't make decisions for you, so I need you to come in. I need you to voice what you want and what you need. I'll help you better clarify that as we go along. So it's good that they understand that to walk into a realtor office or into a mortgage office, you have to have some idea of where you want to go. And that's something that not only our people as a Latina, but in general, customers, clients will come in and say, well, well, I want a two-family, or I want a single, well, maybe I'll do single, multi, and a condo. You have to really identify what is it that you and your family need, and then get pre-approved for that, and then let's look for that. And then if that didn't work or it changed, because dynamics change, right? We're always changing.
Right.
Then we switch it to a different criteria. But you need to really identify what it is you need. Not what you want, what you need.
Oh, man, not what I want. One last question. We're coming to the end of the program, and I want to make sure that I give you ladies the opportunity to voice any messages that you want to send out to our lovely community. Okay? The question is, what if someone wants to buy a property and they have poor credit?
Well, new Fed mortgage, our minimum required FICO score is 580.
580.
Which is very low for buying.
So I was thinking it was in like the 70s or something.
580 will be the minimum for a new Fed mortgage.
Thank you. That's good to know. I'm going to tell that lady everything that you ladies have shared
Absolutely.
with me. And now, is there anything that you like, any message you'd like to send to the community of Nashua, or any information that I haven't asked you about that you'd like to let us know?
Is there anything you'd like to add? I think that whoever doesn't own a home right now and is paying rent, they need to realize that every time you pay that $1,000, $1,100, $1,200, even if it's $700, it's money that you're basically throwing away when you can be paying that to yourself and your equity for the future of yourself and your children and your family. So it's important that you explore the option to be a homeowner. And if it's not meant for you, then that's fine. But at least you're giving yourself the opportunity to be a homeowner.
Very well. What motivated you to get into real estate business?
I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't really where I thought I was going to be.
Okay.
And I don't think we have enough time to discuss the whole story.
Well, give me a 30-second answer. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's make a deal then. You can come back. We can both come back. And we'll start with that question.
Absolutely.
Okay. So in closing, one last thing. Any message, any hello?
No, just thank you for having us.
Okay, no, thank you both for coming.
We're grateful
truly
for being here today.
This is good for me because I'm telling you, I love my community, all of my communities. Well, not just where my heart is, and I know people need your services. So you'll be hearing from me or people that are calling you telling you, Rafael gave me your number. So I thank you both for coming to the program.
Thank you for having us.
And thank you for watching us. Thank you for your time. As you can see, these two ladies are very knowledgeable on real estate business. So if you have any questions, you know that my information is at the end of the program. Feel free to let me know. I'll be the connection between you and them. Okay? And I want you to contact them. I want you to come to us with any questions you have because I want you, they want you, everybody wants you, and you want also to live a healthy lifestyle. Life is better when you're healthy. You enjoy it more. You love your family more. You feel the love more. Okay? Being healthy is not just about not having a disease or treating a disease. It's about having a healthy, holistic approach towards a healthy lifestyle, a full balanced life, including a healthy state of mind. That's why you got to own your own home. Don't pay rent forever. Get your own home. With that, I thank you for your time. Have a good night. God bless you.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.